words to tell you that I think I lost my way. I know you're there behind the mirror, but the cracks they begin to show.
Kinda laggy, isn't it?
Right, hello everybody, welcome to round number 7. You won't be able to see much right now because I'm still... Oh wow, I don't know what you can see actually, because on my screen it keeps changing. We're having some technical issues, but bear with me.
As well, not just on Discord.
Yeah, no, yeah. That's what I mean, yeah, it's all... I couldn't tell you what's going on there. My PC is not having a good time at all. Means I'm not either. So, also SDK doesn't want to work on my main screen.
My voice is so low on the stream.
Right, any better?
You know, a light show on YouTube.
It's having a horrible time. Right, but let's have a look what's going on then. Who's where, what's happening. Because it's what we've got to deal with today, because I can't actually fix anything realistically now. We could try the rest of the qualifying while I'll be doing things in the background while we try and work out exactly what's going on, but other than that, it's what we got for today, sadly. Not so sure what's happened to my PC, but it's decided that right now is the moment where it can't cope any longer for today. I hope you can't see that on your screens, but did you trust me? I've completely got some black screens. Right. 5 minutes to go in qualifying. How close are they this time round? Extremely will be the answer to that one. Extremely close as always. Are they less than a tenth? They are. Shocking turn events less than a tenth between the top two, as we've come to expect. And I think Marcelo has just had a crash with, if I'm not wrong, Peter there. Unfortunate. Charlie Lord's just done purple first sector, 2 yellows seconds, and stays P10. Hopefully things will start to settle down, but looking at it, it's Uminari. Knockhill, fantastic circuit. Absolutely fantastic circuit. In Scotland. Up and down, lots of ups and downs. It's going to be absolutely fantastic if we can manage to watch any of it properly. It'll be my question. If I can try and change some settings quickly. But it takes so long to load that it might be a problem.
Really like on stream on
Yep.
YouTube.
Yep, I know, yeah.
Technical gremlins here.
Like how turning some of that down is actually turning some of that down and off has made that worse, I think. But there we go. I literally.
Capacitor needs to restart.
Well, I can't do anything about it today. I don't know what's gone on with it today, sadly. Apologies for the lag on the stream. I just have to work through it for today because it's just I think my PC's gone on it realistically. Some other things quickly. We do have 2 minutes left of qualifying as the Gaff currently leads. He's back after missing a round or two. I think it was 2 rounds he's missed. Hasn't raced at Sandown. Very short track compared to Snetterton. Snetterton was about 2 minutes long. This is a 51-second lap, so it's very, very, very different in loads of ways. There's one absolutely loads of elevation change compared to Snetterton, which was basically completely flat.
Track in general fits the touring cars a lot better than most of the tracks on iRacing itself. No other cars can fit well in this track. Maybe Formula 4s or even G4s, but touring cars are just really good on this track.
That's just gone even quicker there. He has. He's done a 51.8. I say 1 minute. I'm so used to saying 1 minute lap times, but it's not even that round here. Couple of cars in the pits. Greenwood's got a green middle sector as they're coming to the end now of qualifying, which unfortunately it's just so annoying that I can't get anything to load better than what it is, to be honest. It's really annoying that my PC's decided today is the day to fail me. Now, will we at least be able to see the grid? What the hell's going on there? Maybe not. Right, so the Gaff will start on pole. Brandon will start P2, P3 for Neil, P4 for Steve, P5 for Marcelo, Stephen in P6, Robert P7, P8 for Niels, P9 for Tony, P10 for Joey, P11 for Kevin, P12 for Arjan, and then P13 for Peter and P14 for Costa. Before we say the stream's lagging, it's not even a stream, it's just straight up me. It's absolutely frustrating and annoying, I must admit.
Seems like it's a CPU thing because sometimes your cars on the screen disappear.
Yeah, I couldn't tell you how I could fix that. I don't have a clue.
Thanks, Kevin.
Here we go then. 15 minutes. We're not going to even see them leave the line because as they leave the line is when my PC goes absolutely through the roof. So let's have a see what we can actually see in turn 1. I think Brandon's got the run on the Gaff, but I can't really tell you. Let's see if it hopefully sorts itself out as they go through the first couple of corners. I think Charlie Lord has had he's gone rally crossing in the background from P9.
Usually the rallycross layout is in the middle of the track.
Yeah, has rejoined in P10, so he only lost actually a place from that as Neil's gone a little bit wide there on the exit.
Oh, someone already left again. Is that Charlie? No.
Arjan had a moment there.
Arjan.
Oh, Neil's gone! There goes Neil! Oh, he found the road again! Well held by Neil. He lost quite a few places. Now down behind Robert. Or just ahead of Robert. And Robert, and I think it's Stephen battling there. Stephen up the inside of Robert. They go into the hairpin. And shall go through. Neil's just behind. Neil's has now got a run on Robert as well. So side by side across the line. That's drifting for Robert. Well saved. I think him and Nils have a little bit of a touch. Robert again will go drifting through the next corner. Road he goes, and he keeps it out the wall, but I'm not sure if he's actually going to find the road again. And he does. Eventually refine the road as Tony will now attack Niels. Up the inside he goes. Has a little bit of a look. Stays where he is. I think it's further up Stephen, or Marcelo actually has got up the inside of Neil, and Neil's going to the outside of him. And they touch on the exit there, but Marcelo stays ahead of Neil for now in P4. For a few seconds we can see what's going on, and then we can't, and we can, and we can't. As where is Stephen going in the background? He's gone onto the rallycross circuit. And he'll find his way back on the road. And possibly got a slowdown as well, and allowed him. He's falling behind Charlie Lord as well there.
Like, it's really catching many of the drivers off guard. I guess it's the curves that people are just taking them too much and they just end up getting off the track. But at least it's getting exciting.
Marcelo there giving way to Neil, I think, there. I'm not sure if he had maybe a slowdown, but he was dabbing the brakes on the way into the hairpin quite early on. The Gaff and Brandon have pulled away from the rest of the field. And now, fighting each other. Steve in P3, Neil in P4, P5 for Marcelo. My PC decides to struggle once again. Trust me, this is what I'm seeing. You're seeing live exactly what I'm seeing. So it's not like the stream's going. It's no, it's straight up just this is what I can see from my screen. It is completely on my end, and I'm not sure. It's just decided that that's how I was going to go. It was absolutely fine on Friday for Le Mans, but apparently not today, as Nils and Tony continue to fight side by side. The P6. Identical cars, slightly different colours. Stephen's trying to pass Charlie in the background for P8, and through he goes. Robert now attacking Charlie as well on the exit. Fastest lap at the moment goes to Brandon. They're extremely close, I think, for the lead, to the point where Brandon was outside, but can't find a way through this time round. Little wide from the Gaff. Defends immediately on Brandon. Brandon to the outside. Both of these two not here last time for Snetterton, so they've dropped in the points championship a little bit. That's a little bit wide from the Gaff, and Brandon will be through. Take the lead for now. Marcelo's had a moment to the point where I can't go back and watch crashes because my PC's gone that bad that it's not even telling me if someone goes off the road or not on the SDK. So that's an issue I'm having. Annoying one, I can tell you nonetheless. Neil is trying to pass Steve as they are side by side across the line, and Neil will have the run into turn 1, and through he goes back into P3 after his mistake earlier on. Stephen on the back of Neil's steal as Tony in P5 now after the mistake from Marcelo. He's just behind Robert, so that mistake from Marcelo didn't put him too far back. It has dropped him a few positions. He is currently leading the championship standings going in this round. Not many to go after this one, and is that a look from Stephen, or is it just extremely close? It's just extremely close. That was nearly pushing Niels through the corner. He's gonna have a look into the hairpin, surely. Looks to the inside, brake a little bit later than Niels, and you have the inside line and should take P6. It's a nice move. Robert got a run on Charlie Lloyd there, and we'll go through. Marcelo's going to follow him through as well. Ollie should drop down to P9, and through goes Marcelo. Smashing the curves there for Marcelo there. Oh, the good defending from Robert, but that is Marcel. Oh, is through. He found the inside line. Had a better run. Through he goes. Does he touch the gravel? No, but Charlie Lord will. All over the gravel. And through he goes. Marcelo into P8 now. Having to defend from Robert into the last turn. On the inside. Will defend heavily. And now it's about getting a good run on the exit. Fastest lap now goes to the Gaff as well in P2. So they do continue the fight up the front. Here, my PC working every time. Every time I click a button, I can hear almost revving, if you want to call it that. I'll ask it to do too many things at once. Not enjoying it at all. Unfortunate. Stephen Fry now on the back of Tony for P5. Stephen actually P2 in the championship soundings heading in to this round as well. We're halfway through race number 1 here, because reverse grid. Basically, for top 8, last time out was basically a whole reverse grid for everybody, but this time 14 cars. Whoever ends up in P8, which at the moment is Marcelo, will start on pole for race number 2. A little look. Frames, it was all out. It's all over the place. I can tell that now. We'll come across the lines. We've got 6 minutes left of race number 1. They're almost 2 by 2 at the moment. 2 leaders are quite close. P5 and P6 quite close. P8 and 7 are also quite close. P11 and 12 also close on the circuit. Marcelo on the back now of Niels. Niels defends into the hairpin. Marcelo will have to go the long way around. I think they do actually touch there on the exit of the corner. And it may have stopped any momentum Marcelo had.
If I'm not saying anything, but it's just so hard to see.
Yeah, I bet. Yeah. I bet it is. Neil, oh, that's a spin between Marcelo and Niels. And round goes Marcelo. Stewards will look at that in a better light than I did. Stephen has gone past Tony as well for P5 after everything. Unfortunately, Marcelo's not had a good start to his day here today. Niels continues on. That allows Robert up to P7. 5 minutes to go. And now my SDK has gone a bit mental.
At least that the gap between the leaders and P3 is huge. Don't know how they can keep so fast on this track compared to everyone else.
Yeah, it was a 10-second gap, I think, in long.
Yes, about 10 seconds now. Especially considering they are fighting with each other.
Yeah, they're pretty close to each other, and yet they've still got 10-second gap. Niels again back behind Steve, so he's got a free passing for third. So the battles are on for the lead and for the final place on the podium in race 1 today. So a lot to be done yet in these next couple of minutes. Next 3 minutes left to go in race 1. Closest battle is for third. Neil is going to try and pass Steve here at some point in the last couple of minutes. Happen for sure.
He's already prepared for it.
The inside. Break at the same point. Who gets the better exit? Neil should be through and done. And he is. Neil back up into third once again.
These cars, the exit on the hairpin is much better since the cars are front wheel drive. So they can just slam on the throttle and they're off. You can see the leaders are still close to each other. Wonder if Jeff is gonna... we're gonna pass Brandon.
Oh, there goes a look! A very late look, and Brandon responds. I'm not sure if they touch slightly, but I think they get away with it. As you said it.
Yeah. It has to be soon, because only 2 minutes remaining for the race to end. At least for race 1.
Yeah.
But you know, Gert wants that race win. Even if it's the first one, still a race win, it always counts.
Well, yeah, race 1, of course, done more on pace, you know, start on pole and finish in the lead rather than race 2. Reverse grid. It's where it gets a bit exciting and you never know who might come out on top. Stephen Fry got his first win last time out in the reverse grid race at Snetterton.
Steve Hayward still not giving up to catch the podium position. He on the timing board.
These two are nearly matching each other in lap times here. Well, realistically, just matching each other in lap times. Well, they got a minute to go, so... their next lap will be the last lap by a couple of seconds, to be fair, so it's going to be a little bit tight. They should get round to the line in time.
It has to be done on the hairpin. It's the best overtaking spot to keep the lead. Gonna do it now. No, it's still a bit of a distance. Not gonna do it this time. Has to be on the next lap. Yes, we have a next lap, right?
Yeah, I think we're going to get another one in, yeah. Absolutely.
And this is gonna be it.
There's the white flag. Final lap then, here we go. Closest battle on the track, and it is for the lead as well. And the win in race 1. Oh, the gas gone off. That could have ruined everything. He's come back on now. Might have been his chance gone though. Definitely. He's 4 tenths back now. I think Brandon goes a little wide. Oh, he's just got a little wide.
It is done.
Oh.
He wanted to keep getting as close as possible before the hairpin because that was his only chance to overtake. And now, sadly, it's gone for him on race 1. As
everything disappeared because my PC couldn't deal with it, and Brandon.
Yes, Brandon crosses the line in first place.
Brandon does win. Yeah. Right at the end, he really couldn't cope with it anymore. Neil takes P3. Steve takes P4. They had a quite close fight for those two. Stephen should take P5 ahead of Tony for P6. Robert will get P7 after having quite a good race for him, avoiding the drama. Neil's a little incident, but will take P8 and start on pole for the reverse grid race as well, crucially. P9 to Charlie, which had an eventful race, to say the least. Marcelo will take P10 at the end of race 1. He's got a lot of work to do in the second race, as Peter beats Arjan by 5 tenths in the end, so they're battle for P11 going the whole way through as well. 5 tenths is the gap in the end for the win between Brandon and the gaff. Both sharing out some points as well, both leading some laps. A warm up at the moment for 30 seconds. Oh, fucking hell. I don't know where I opened. I don't know how to get rid of it either. Right then. How long do we have? Not very long at all to look at the grid at all. Niels will start on pole for this one. Robert P2, P3 for Tony, P4 for Stephen, P5 for Steve, P6 for Niels. The gaff will start P7 and P8 for Brandon after winning the first one. Charlie Lord will take P9 and P10 for Marcelo. Here we go then. Race number 2.
Green, green, green.
Reverse grid is where everything goes a bit nuts. Let's see how it goes again. Yep, didn't expect my PC to deal with it very well. Robert's probably got a good start in the Audi. Goes to the lead of the race. He does go to the lead of the race. From P2 to the lead. Everybody quite calm and collected further back. I think they are. Charlie and Brandon quite close. Brandon goes off the road and will eventually return on the road as well, but probably behind Marcelo, I'd say. And yes, and then at the back there's a freeway crash between Costa, Arjan and Peter, which I think they've all come out quite badly for that one. And who's that sliding off the road in front? It's Charlie Lord once again, deciding that he likes the grass today and not the actual tarmac. Robert versus Niels. Robert is on the inside, Niels to the outside. Who comes out of that one on top? It should still be Robert as they leave the hairpin this time by. Brandon is trying to go around the outside of Marcelo. The point where he's on the grass, but does get alongside. Niels has also lost a place to Tony, I think, here for P3. Tony up the inside. It's for second. Tony should get the place. Niels will hold on. And Niels has to concede the place. And up the inside, I think there, went Niels on the back of Steve. And there you go. He stays there. Single file they go. A little wide from Tony. And Niels will have a run and go back into P2. Through he goes. And they slightly touch. And Tony goes wide. And that's Stephen through. He'll take the both of them. And he does. Through into P2. I hope everybody trying to come through now past Tony. Gets a little slight knock. And there's 4 cars trying to line up, trying to pass him in the hairpin. And he's actually gone wide, and he's got to get a horrible run. Then he's 4 wide out of the hairpin there. Through they go. I wish that the PC would work better like it is for his 2 seconds, and then as soon as I mention it, look, it's gone again, and it's back again. Look at everybody so close together. I'm not sure who's battling who here. There's just fighting all around. There's cars side by side. I think it's Steve, it's Niels, as well. It's up the inside, goes to Gaff. Trying to pass Niels. There's Marcelo and Brandon all involved. I think it's ending up for P4, and the gas being touched by Niels, and round he goes, and then there goes Niels off the road as well. Have fun with that one, Stuart, and they're both probably out of that race. Over them slamming into the wall really heavily. All of that, Brandon's come out in P5, not sure how he's done that exactly. Yet again, I can't go to a replay because SDK isn't telling me if someone's going off or crashing, so I can't even go back to see it, which is massively unfortunate. Fast half the race goes to Stephen at the moment in P2. Battle between Neil and Steve continuing again, once again for P3 now in race 2, just the same as race number 1. Through goes Neil on the inside of Steve, and up he goes into P3. Brandon will be the next car to try and get Steve, and Steve's gone wide and into the gravel, and Brandon will take that place pretty quickly, and Steven's got past Robert, or is trying to anyway. He's side by side of him, going into the hairpin now. On the brakes, who gets the better? And it will be Steven. Should go up into P1. Steve is retaking Brandon, a little bit of a door bang, but up he goes back into P4. Brandon's actually lost out to Marcelo as well as they get the run across the line. Brandon's actually holding on to that place. I'm not sure if they did touch there between Marcelo and Brandon, but Brandon's back through and Marcelo will stay on the road in P6. Can't tell you if they did touch or not.
No, it seems like Marcel simply went too wide and started sliding on his own.
Just too much speed, and the rear tyres couldn't live with it then. And Steve's gone off again there. That's going to give Brandon a nice little run. Does immediately cover the inside. Oh, Brandon still tries to find the gap. A little dummy. Into the back of Steve on midway through the corner. Not able to find a way through. It's close for top 3 as well. They're all within a second of each other for the top 3. It's Stephen, Robert and Neil. How frustrating that PC wouldn't work properly, otherwise it's been great to watch without any jittering. As Brandon trying to pass. Neil's up the inside. No, he's not, but is Brandon up the inside of Steve? He is, and through he goes. And Neil's now doing the same to Robert. Up he goes on the inside into the hairpin. Places changing absolutely everywhere. And on the brakes, Neil will go into P2. Last lap goes to Marcelo now in P6, so it's, you know, how open this race is. Only 7 now on the lead lap after the other incidents that happened. 3 cars crashed on lap 1, and then 2 more with Nils and... Oh, I'm not sure what happened to Charlie Lord. I must admit, I haven't seen that one. He's there in P9.
And now at least has clean air, so he might have the chance to catch the top 3.
Yeah, he might definitely. He's got 10 minutes to go, realistically, to get to them, which you'd say is about 10 laps around here. How quick the lap times are, so yeah, you'll be able to get on the back of them now. It's a case of passing them is going to be a fun one.
He's already under a second to P3.
Yeah, he's going to be on the back of Robert soon. He's just taken the fastest lap of the race from Neil as well. Home circuit for Neil here in Scotland. Unfortunately, that can have a better broadcast to go with it, and that's off the road. I think that's Neil's being lapped by the front couple of cars, and he's getting out of the way nicely.
I saw a red car. I thought it was one of the leaders.
Yeah, everyone's picked red as their car, haven't they?
Yeah, it doesn't help that everything's a square.
Yeah, everything's and it's just a color, isn't it? Just one color.
Yeah. Like Robert is losing pace because he is now above 1 second to Neil. Meanwhile, Brandon is now catching super close to Robert. He could pass him on this lap. Yeah, we should keep an eye on that.
Neil's got from Stephen. He's launched up the inside. He's there. They're going to touch maybe, and it's a brilliant move because I don't think they did touch, and Neil is through into the lead. That is a brilliant pass. Now Brandon's going to try and get P. Look at that. He's already got alongside before after the chicane. Up the inside goes Brandon. That should possibly be P3, but Robert's not giving it up. They bang doors. You can tell you're getting closer to the end of the season because people are now fighting for the positions. Brandon does have to concede back to Robert there, which I thought he was a done move, but no. Absolutely not. Robert stood his ground. That's a brilliant run on the exit there from Brandon, and surely this time, well, we might have to concede.
Really well, Robert. I have to commend, that was a really good defense from Robert.
Yeah.
But sadly, he lost now from the hairpin because he didn't have the right position for the inside of this corner.
Absolutely.
Meanwhile, Neil already got some space from P2. Now he's clearly on first place without much trouble to fighting mid against others.
Alright, wait for
And we'll
it.
see it.
It will eventually come back. He says, as everything gets really muddled up, and I'm not sure who's where now. Let's have a little look. I can't actually pick a camera.
He'll be back.
We are back. There we go. Yep. I don't know. I'll probably end up deleting iRacing and reinstalling at this rate.
At this pace, now Neil has a fastest lap. So I don't know if Redden can keep up and catch for first place because he's already on a podium position. Starting from P8, the leader, race winner of race 1. But now, he wants another win, of course. He's already getting super close to Fry. Still not enough to pass him on this hairpin.
Oh, we might get on the exit though.
Yeah, he got a good exit there. Gonna take advantage of that, or maybe just calm. There's still plenty of time left. He can do it on the end of this lap. Already super close. He just needs to keep this distance because it's gonna help him on the hairpin.
Oh, he's
Oh,
off.
he's out. That's it then.
There you go. Yeah,
Didn't even need a hairpin.
before the hairpin then.
Now, if I can read this code, that's has to get 2 seconds off in 5 minutes. It is 2 seconds, right?
Yeah, that's, yeah, 2.3. Yeah.
Okay, good.
Marcelo's actually just gone into the pits apparently from P7 or 8.
P6?
I think it was P6. Yeah, wasn't he? So he's gone into the pits now and he's dropped down to
Yeah.
P10. So that's. Oh, he's had a crash, hasn't he? Look at that. It's a destroyed car, and the chance.
You see the replay?
I don't have one, but if I rewind, because we weren't too far away from it, surely. Oh, what's happened? What's happened here then?
It was a fight with Steve Haywood.
Ooh.
Oh. Didn't have enough space on the outside there. He might have been moving under braking. I'm not sure. It's the Seward's time to analyze that. So let's just keep going with the leader.
Yeah, if I can get back to them, I will.
Okay.
Anyway. Yeah, absolutely. It didn't work either. I thought maybe if I rewind a couple seconds and do it that way, it would stop some of the lag. Nope, not at all. That didn't even work. Who's it quite close between then? Steve and Robert. P4. Last lap of the race to Brandon now. 1.8 behind.
I don't think it's gonna be enough. He needed to do those lap times sooner. He was a patient driver on this race, which helped him at least get to P2, but not the leader, fortunately. But it was still a good effort from him, starting from the position that he was on the track that's relatively tight, and it's hard to overtake exactly especially with these cars.
Oh,
and
Steve!
Steve, and he slowed down a lot on that hairpin, and that gave his position back. Tony.
Yep.
With
Robert,
dropped.
yep.
Yep. He lost some time now. He went from 1.8 to 2.1. So I
Yeah.
guess it's just the only fight that's gonna happen is Robert and Steve now for a different position. So going on the outside. And can he make it? No, he went too deep. Why did it keeps making the fastest laps? Gives an extra point to him.
Yeah, another extra point in his basket there. Extra point for fast lap because Neil getting some points for leading as well as probably most laps led. Stephen got a point probably for leading a lap as well. I think Robert will get a point for leading as well because he led on lap 1. Led across the line, so. And Steve again, not able to do anything this time. They're going to go on to the final lap this time round.
Again, Brendan lost a lot of time the last lap.
9-10. Wow, he lost a lot, yeah.
Complete second there. Yeah, it's unfortunate what's happening.
It's somehow gotten worse.
True.
Neil will win his home race though. He wins in Scotland. He's done it. He's won at Knockhill. Happy times for him. He's won the reverse grid race. He's won it by a while. He's done well there. Brandon will take P2. P3 will go the way of Stephen. He'll be happy with that. Good result again for him. Robert does end up P4 ahead of Steve in P5. Tony on his return will take P6. Peter, after was involved in the chaos at the start of the race, does get P7. Charlie Lord, not sure exactly what happened to him, will take P8. P9 will go the way of Marcelo. P10 will be Arjan's as well. And that's a lovely view of Arsenal. We could have just tried to watch the race on that one as well. Costa will take P11. P12 to Niels in the end as well. The Gaff ends up 13th and Kevin ends up 14th. It's unfortunate that it's gone that way with how it looked. The racing was still very, very good. I'd say I don't think the stewards have loads to do at all, do they? So that's good for them. I'm annoyed that it's done that because Knockhill is one of my favourite circuits as well. Really love driving the circuit in these cars. So it's massively unfortunate. But it will be fixed for next week, definitely. Whatever the exact issue is. That's how they'd finish up. So yeah, I'm not even sure if my Discord's even open. Is it open still? It is open. It is. Right then, well, thank you everyone for watching and sticking with us. But yeah, a bit unfortunate with how the streams looked this week, but we'll get it fixed for next. Where we are, I think, at Summit Point next week. So of course, free circuit. as well. So if maybe a few more cars, great circuit as well to have some good touring car races on. So we're coming towards the end of the season. But thank you very much for joining us. Hopefully we'll have it all sorted for next week. And the racing was great this week, very good. Unfortunately, we couldn't bring it to you in a smoother capacity rather than frame by frame. Yeah, thank you very much for joining us. We'll see you next week for some more racing at Summit Point. Well, I could do. No?